can see that the pipeline is running, setup job, build.NET, build with .NET publish, tab bundle migration. We're uploading the artifact, and after that we'll be done with this. Then it's going to go, after the build, it's going to then try to deploy the application. And the last stage of the build, and this has been done successfully. So I'm going to take a step back to the deployment itself. So we'll select this. So this is deployment. Let's see how this goes. So deployment shouldn't take long because we are very sure that this was done successfully here while we're setting up the application. So if this is done, the only place you could encounter issues is during the build. An issue I encountered while doing this was compatibility with the .NET application and for the data migration tool I wanted to install. They'll help me carry out the data migration. This is the page we had initially. After deployment, this is going to change to the updated page. Now, even when we have this all completed and we have the updated page, remember that our database is not yet set up because we have to carry out the migration of the data we have and the schema. We have to carry all that out and run it against our database. So because our database is not yet set up, you can see this error while processing your request because we don't yet have our database set up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that is done. I'm going to go to our web app. We're going to select the SSH tool. So this tool will allow us access to a terminal that we can now run and carry out some commands. Remember, we've migrated the data into this place, so we have access to the schema and all that. It will require me to just authenticate. So with the authentication done, I know I have my migration bundle within a particular path. So let me just run some Linux commands here. Print working directory. I'm in the root directory. I want to be in my www root directory, so I'm going to navigate there. So I'll cd to /home /site www root. So I'm here now. I'll run an ls command. So you can see the migrate file here. This is the file that we're concerned with. So it's the script. So I'll go ahead to run the script. So that's why it was important we carried out the migration during the deployment to help move this here. So you can see this has been done successfully. So with this done, our site will now be functioning properly because we now have access to the database. So let's go back here and let's do a refresh of this page. Bring me to a fully functioning website. So now I can create new. I can place the date. Anything, I can select my date and I can create this. So this now writes that to the database. I can create more things. I can say a couple of things here called Ben tomorrow. So this is just like my basic application to-do list. And that adds that. So we can also peruse our database to see what exactly is happening within the database. So there's this query editor, although it's in preview mode. I think it's been a very useful tool to a couple of people. So with the query editor, you are able to do a couple of things. And one of those things is to access the database from the Azure portal. So I'm not sure this won't allow me because there is usually a restriction. So it's telling me that my IP address doesn't have access. Remember, I told you all connections to this will be done via a private link. So I need to enable the access, but that has to be done at the server level. So not at the database level. So I'm going to go a step back to the server from here, and I'm going to go to networking here. So once I go to networking, from this networking tab, I can actually add my IP address. So you see, can actually add my IP address to allow me access to this. So I'm going to add just my IP address, and this will grant me access. For some reason, I noticed that when I click add my IP address, sometimes it doesn't add anything. It's meant to add my IP address here, but if you come across this issue, it's very easy to resolve. So you can just go on Google and type what is my IP, and it's going to bring out your IP address for you, and you just copy it. This is your IP address you're currently using to access the internet. So just copy that IP address. That's all you require. Come back to Azure and paste it here as the start and end IP, then save it. So once this saves, you would have access to the database. You can also navigate to databases from here by going to SQL databases. I told you you could have multiple databases here. Select the one you want to have access to. That has been selected. You can come to your query editor like we initially did and get the password. You're wondering, where did I get the password from? Password is actually located in the connection string, the one I showed you earlier on. So if you go to tables, we can see we have the to-do table here, which is our concern. We can run some basic commands against this. We can say select a basic select statement, select star from and select the database. So once we run this, you'll be able to see the things. So this is like looking at things from the back end, so you can see what we have uploaded, and you can even from here add some additional things from the back end. So this shows you from end to end what we have done in this lab. I hope this was informative. I hope this was helpful. Stay blessed.